So a common question I get, whether I'm back in America or people ask me online, is what the healthcare is like in Greece and health insurance as an expat and all that. And honestly, it's a lot easier than I think people give it credit for. In Greece, there's free public healthcare, which means that there's public hospitals. And although when you go to them, which unfortunately I have had to, a number of times, they are a bit daunting at first. It does kind of remind you of like the old Soviet structures. It's very sterile and old, but honestly that's not knocking the care that you get at these places, because like I said, it is free. So the financial burden that you do worry about in America, you don't really have here. So if you need to be seen, you'll go to an ER, you'll wait a bit, and you'll get seen and you'll get taken care of. And because there isn't like an insurance thing, and because it is free, you notice that you don't get like just pushed out as quick as you might in the States, because they're not really worried about the turnover rate as much as private healthcare in the US does. Now, they do have private healthcare here in Greece, and it is better, but you have to have insurance to have it. The first time I went, I was actually refused. I showed up, they asked me for my insurance, and I didn't have any. So, I got turned away, and it was really a rough time because I was dealing with a very serious medical problem at the time. And the care that I did get at the public hospital, I got sent to a cardiologist, neurologist, a vascular surgeon, and honestly, they took care of me. For the most part, you're not even going to go to the hospitals, right? If you need like a checkup, if you have any kind of problem, you're just going to go to like a local clinic, like local hospitals. But it's not like an urgent care in America. It's they really are like little hospitals. If you do have a non-emergency and you do need some kind of medical help, this is the clinic that I go to. This is like a neighborhood hospital. It's the Etiquette. But I guess they have like a full lab in the basement, MRIs, X-rays. They do everything. It is a mini hospital. The only thing they don't really seem to do is trauma. So you need to go to the ER, you go to one of the public hospitals, but everything else you can get done in local places like this. So don't think that it's a third world country just because it's cheaper. You have to remember that people travel from all over the world actually to get medical procedures done here because they are actually affordable. I've also talked to female friends who go to a gynecologist, or if they're pregnant, they have to go to certain specialists for that. It's the same, usually like 20, 40, 50 euros. And just keep in mind that when you go to these hospitals, most of the doctors that you meet that are going to be taking care of you are usually going to be in their late 20s or 30s. I feel like you don't really see too many older doctors unless they're in the more neighborhood private practices, because honestly, it's just you don't make much money even as a physician here in Greece. So the only way they can really do that is to have their private practice. So normally it seems like once they're done with their residencies, they kind of just move out, open up their own little private practices, which are great because it means that the neighborhoods have all these really great medical resources because they're all over the place. Every doctor you need, you can find in your neighborhood. Neurologists, dermatologists, dietitians, physicians, all sorts of surgeons. I looked across the street from me on the balcony, and on the third floor, I could see somebody doing dental surgery. And actually, on the top floor of my building is a dentist as well. So there's no shortage of resources, and the private practices are always going to have more expertise, but they are smaller. But once you go into the offices, they're usually really nice. So don't think that just because the address is an apartment that it's going to be really bad. The best care you can get is in these smaller offices. And usually any kind of experts or any kind of specialist, it's going to be just a little office in the neighborhood. And honestly, I find it more personal. It's still far cheaper than it is in the United States. And another real benefit to these smaller practices is that if you want to make an appointment, you don't have to wait weeks in advance. Honestly, usually it's going to be same day or the next day or two. My fiance needs new lip fillers. Bam, she's there later on that day. So I know that's a big deal for her. That's her biggest medical expense, I think, so far. I feel like I should give a personal story. So 2 years ago, I had a serious health problem when I landed here in Greece, actually. It has nothing to do with anything here, just a freak accident. And I was in real desperate need of care. And at first I just tried to tough it out. And honestly, what I found out later is it almost cost me my life. So, the public health care here, if it wasn't for them, honestly, I'd be dead. I came in, they triaged me, right to the front of the line because I was in pretty desperate need. And I got sent from cardiologist to neurologist, meetings with a bunch of surgeons, and thankfully, everything was resolved. And in the end, I paid like $100. And after doing some research in America, I would have ended up paying something like $200,000, $300,000 for all that, all the specialists and all the priority treatment. So, you can say that, yes, free healthcare, it's not as shiny and pretty as it is in America. And it's not. I'll agree with that. But I'm here, And since then, I've lived an amazing life in Greece. I've gotten engaged, soon I'll have a family. I have a brand new start, a brand new life. And every day I'm thankful. And this place has brought me such great peace. And one thing that I don't have to worry about, that I know a lot of you do worry about, but you don't have to, is healthcare, really. If you need it, you'll get it. If you want better healthcare, you can go to a private hospital, but for the most part, you're going to be fine with whatever you get here. If you do want to go to a private hospital, just make sure that you have insurance. I have an AIG policy. It cost me $700 for a year, and it's up to, I think, $400,000 coverage, which in a place like this is absolutely everything. It's fine. And so if any other questions you have, any worries about traveling, things they don't talk about, because most of these videos are just shiny places, nice churches, right? And things that we can all see, and things that we can all see on the computer. But if you actually want to come to these places, let me know what your worries are. Put them in the comments, and I'll make a video talking about them as good as I can. Because I've been an expat for a while now, and I'm an adult. I'll be 49. I'll be 40 next year, and I'm not a kid, and neither are you. So thanks for stopping by. And one last thing, it kind of has to be said. When you're actually at these appointments, like if you go to an ER or something, and you are waiting, don't be surprised if people are a little upset that you're there. It's definitely not a good day anytime you're at the hospital. Greek people, a lot like Americans, are very patriotic, very nationalistic people. And when it comes to their resources, it can be a bit sensitive. So although you've been waiting just as long as they have, and you might have more of an issue, you might hear somebody say like, oh, because the foreigners, give them a special treatment, even though you're not getting special treatment. It's kind of the way that they are. I mean, it's just frustrated people in general. It doesn't really matter what country you're from. But don't feel guilty about using public health care here. It's here for a reason, and you don't want to put your life at risk because you don't want to offend somebody. And if anybody does give you some kind of attitude like that, you know what? Just walk the other way. I mean, it's not worth it. You don't want to get in a brawl in the middle of a hospital and get thrown out and not get any help. And because in the end, this isn't our homeland. This isn't America. This isn't the UK. This isn't wherever you're from. And, you're still guest. So act accordingly. Give respect to people. But like I said, don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Because that's what these programs are for. It's not just for Greek people. It is for foreigners as well. And there are people who abuse the system, sure. But, if you genuinely need help, get the help that you need. All right, so if you made it through all that and you're still here, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll make more of these, and because it's a lot of fun and I like practicing my editing. So thanks a lot.